You know what's amazing? It's like, wow, Ryan Gosling just served me coffee. You're burnt over, my guy. Let's go. I've been an educator for 12 years now, and in the past decade, I've seen a lot and experienced a lot of change in education. And it's ranged from just new classroom strategies to modification of older strategies to make them seem like new strategies. From the big edtech boom with all these really neat edtech tools that have come out to more recently what we're seeing now in artificial intelligence and how that's really just doing groundbreaking work and completely transforming education as we know it. But what's interesting for me is that despite all these years of change, there's been one thing, and specifically it's been one phrase that I think has remained constant throughout all that time. And it's a phrase that I've heard more often than not. It's a phrase that I know you've heard, all of you have heard it before because I've said it a lot before. And that phrase is one day. So I'm going to try that new classroom tool out with all my kids one day. That EdTech tool. It's going to bring out so much student voice. I'm going to implement that one day. Artificial intelligence too. Like it's literally going to change everything, but that's also what's scary about it. So I'm going to dabble in it one day. So the question that might naturally come to mind is, why are people so hesitant to change? Why are they so seemingly fearful of taking that first important step? And while I think it's a great question, and it's something that we could most definitely talk about for hours and days, we could have a whole conference just on that. But I think the question that we should be asking is, how can we help people transform their mindset from one day to day one? You see, I'm the father, a very proud father of two little boys, Levi and Liam. They're 7 and 5 years old. And as a dad, I've had a ton of day ones. And they've ranged from good to what I'm just going to categorize as interesting. And if you're a parent, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So day one of finding out that I'm going to be a dad for the very first time was a really important day. Day one of seeing them and holding them in my arms for the very first time. But also, day one of dirty diapers, and day one of night one of having an average about 3 hours sleep, if I was lucky. Now, despite all of those day ones, am I the perfect father? You know, I strive to be. But that's one of the things that I love about that day one mindset, is because day one is not the same thing as square one. There is no going 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. There's only moving forward. Because day one is not about perfection. It's about taking that first step and then realizing that it's okay to make mistakes, because that's how I'm going to grow. So how can we help people transform their mindset from one day to day one? And in all honesty, I think it might just take a little change in perspective. Here's an example. What if I was a one-day dad? And we're going to go on that fishing trip one day. You know that park you guys really love? I know, it's great. We'll go back to it one day. That ice cream shop, yeah, delicious, and I love it too. We'll shop there again one day. One day, and pretty soon all those one days are just going to turn into multiple days, and in the end, I think all we're left with is just a bunch of missed opportunities. So when I think about things from that perspective, it really helps me realize that it's not about me anymore. It's about them. And it really helps me internalize and truly realize the perspective that I need to take. And that is one of not being a parent or an educator that I want to be. I need to be one that they need me to be. And for me, that's going to make all the difference. Thanks for the coffee.
Man, that slapped, as some kids would say.
It was bussin'. Bussin'.
On that Fortnite. Oh man, you know one of the things I love is like he talked about like we're so afraid of failure, we're so afraid of messing up, but we don't try things. It's like I notice with educators, like a lot of times the things that my teachers would hate saying is, I don't know, because they're supposed to be the experts. And now, like, I think classrooms that turn it to where it's just everybody's learning together, I think that has a greater atmosphere for everything to be day one.
Yeah, I do. I agree. I think that there's just like magic in telling your students, like, I don't know, right? Like, let's learn this together and figure it out. There's just some magic that happens in that. I think the community comes together with that.
Yeah, and it puts them on a level with you.
Yeah.
You're not like unattainable. Like
Right.
I could be that teacher someday because I'm doing what they're doing.
Because it's like Jesus and then your teachers, right?
That's
like
right.
we don't grocery shop, we just don't do anything.
That's great.
We go to coffee shops. That's what we do.
Yeah,
Right.
we're robots that just teach every day. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
that's what we do.
So good. We better shut this coffee shop down.
Yeah, we do, because Jenny's not paying us all night. So
I know. Tired of smelling these entrepreneurs that come into my coffee shop. You know what I'm saying?
I know. There's like
So good.
133 of them sitting right here. So.
Smoking hot.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, come on.
I'm sorry.
Y'all the reason why I get home so late. Can y'all get out of here, please?
Yes, sir. Sorry about that.
Oh my
We're going.
goodness.
Thanks.